Who are the best players in the AFC West? What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here with my AFC West All-Star team. A Pro Bowl squad made up of only Chiefs, Raiders, Broncos, and Chargers players entering the 2023 NFL season. An offense, a defense, special teams, and a coaching staff. Breaking down each position, the best players in the AFC West at every spot. If that sounds good, don't forget to spike the like button and subscribe for more NFL division teams just like this. Also, let me know in the comments which players you believe from your favorite team should be representing the division, the AFC West, and let's go. Kicking off Team AFC West at the quarterback position, obviously, I'm going with Patrick Mahomes. I mean, are you serious? What? You could just skip this part if you like. But anyways, Patrick Mahomes is the quarterback. He now has 2 Super Bowls, 2 MVPs, and is coming off one of the best seasons we have ever seen a quarterback have at the quarterback position. A bunch of haters like myself said, hey, he won't be as good without Tyreek Hill. Well, I guess I was wrong. I'm sorry, Patty, but you're still going to be my quarterback for Team AFC West. And as good as Justin Herbert is, it's not even really a decision. At the running back position in the backfield, Patrick Mahomes will have his 2 best running backs of his career, probably by far. The starting running back is Josh Jacobs, the leading rusher of the NFL in 2022. Will be getting a lot of the rock in the backfield. He also proved he could be a 3-down guy, catch the football, do it all. But man, this guy has so much power, so much leg drive and strength. His ability to pick up yards game after game, get stronger in the fourth quarter. He is the closer that in Patrick Mahomes' offense truly does need. The backup running back, the complimentary back for Team AFC West, is going to be Austin Ekeler. And I love how these 2 backs complement each other. Austin Ekeler, the only problem with him is that he doesn't have a power back to complement him. Well, enter Josh Jacobs. For Josh Jacobs, he could really use the help of a shifty pass catching back like Austin Ekeler. And that guy with Patrick Mahomes, with Andy Reid, I mean, that would be crazy. So Austin Ekeler is going to be the complimentary back, catching 100 passes from Patrick Mahomes on Team AFC West. Now moving to the wide receiver position, the number 1 wide receiver for Team AFC West is easily Davante Adams of the Las Vegas Raiders. This is probably a dream for many Chiefs fans out there, but what if Davante Adams teamed up with Patrick Mahomes? It would be a nightmare. And you've got the best release, probably the sickest, slickest routes in the game, some of the best hands there is, and the IQ is just off the charts for Davante Adams. I think that's what separates him. Wide receiver 2, we're going to give Patty a big jump ball target. His name is Big Mike W, because all he does is win. Mike Williams is going to be the number 2 receiver. As Davante Adams is getting quick off the line, getting separation, Mike Williams is just going to snatch those one-on-one balls all day long. And then the slot receiver. This one's interesting, and I'm going to be controversial. A lot of people would say Keenan Allen, but I'm going to be disrespectful. I'm going with Jerry Jeudy. Yup, I'm doing it. I think that moving forward, this is a take, okay? Jerry Jeudy will be the better player. I think he is a very good route runner, very crisp, very quick. I think he's about to explode under Sean Payton and his mastery offensively. I think he's by far the best receiver in Denver, and I think he will be the best slot receiver in this division moving forward. At the tight end position, Obviously, it's not going to be Travis Kelce, the future Hall of Famer, the guy that consistently has put up playoff numbers in the biggest games. I think he passed Julian Edelman, which I wasn't so happy about, on the playoff receiving list. Travis Kelce is going to be the tight end as long as he's not fighting his teammates in practice. Now moving to the offensive line. At the left tackle position, this one was actually really tough. There's some really good left tackles in this division. Not Donovan Smith, just so you know. But we've got the Broncos with Garrett Bowles. We've got Rashawn Slater in LA. But I think the one that's been most consistent and maybe most underrated that deserves the recognition of this video is Kolton Miller. Kolton Miller was graded as the 6th best tackle in the NFL last year, and he was a part of the team that ran the ball for the leading rusher. So I think the guy is excellent in pass protection, by far the best offensive lineman the Raiders have, and he'll protect the blind side of Patrick Mahomes. Very athletic guy too, smooth mover. I think he fits perfectly for this offense. At the left guard position, this one wasn't so hard. This is Joe Thuney. Without a doubt, Joe Thuney is arguably the best left guard in all of football. He is an amazing, spectacular pass blocker. Coming from New England, I truly do know how good this guy is. He goes to Kansas City for a record-breaking contract, and it's rare that an offensive lineman is worth it, but he has absolutely been worth it for the Chiefs. At the center position, this one was also very fast and very quick. Although I will say Corey Linsley is pretty darn good. Creed Humphrey has become arguably the best center in football. You could argue that he's right there with Jason Kelce. I think Linsley is probably right underneath that. But man, I gotta go with Humphrey. I think his combination with Thuney is the decisive edge. On top of just the way he's played through the first 2 years of his career, physically more in his prime. I think he's got more power to offer in his game. And I think the most underrated part about the Chiefs offense is just how efficient they are running the ball when they are asked to do it. And I think Humphrey's a big reason for that. Moving to right guard. There is a very good right guard in this division that I don't think gets like any recognition whatsoever, probably because he plays for the Broncos. But Quinn Miners has become a very consistent, very solid right guard for the Denver Broncos. And you could argue he's the best player on this new Sean Payton Broncos offensive line that they have built. And I think he's going to be a great addition to Team AFC West. The right tackle position, just as the left tackle position in this division is very strong, the right tackle position is also pretty strong. I wouldn't say it's quite as strong as the left tackle, but there was a few different names I could have went with here. I decided to put my faith in Andy Reid and go with Jawan Taylor. I know that Jawan Taylor hasn't been the most consistent, hasn't been, quite as well regarded as Mike McGlinchey of the Broncos, that they just paid big time, but Jawan Taylor as a pass blocker has a lot of upside, and I think with proper coaching, he could be a very, very good tackle. He's still very young, so I'm going to put him on my offensive line with this unit to form the Team AFC West offense. Now, moving to the defensive side of the football, we must begin at the edge position with my number one pick on the edge in this division. It's without a doubt Max Crosby, which, by the way, during the quarterback Netflix series, this guy going at it with Patty Mahomes, they're going to have to figure out their differences. But man, Max Crosby is one of my favorite defensive players in the NFL today. His engine is just out of this world. He is relentless, and he is great against the run and as a pass rusher. I feel like he could play and thrive on any defense. The opposite edge, as long as he's healthy, the option, the choice is without a doubt Joey Bosa. Joey Bosa has been one of the best pass rushers in the NFL since his rookie year. Immediate impact type of guy with the Chargers. A 10-sack, no question. Don't even just put it down like every season that he's healthy. Joey Bosa is still that dude. A great tandem for Team AFC West. Moving to the inside, the number one choice at defensive tackle is Chris Jones. I mean, he's the best player at this position in the NFL. Yeah, I said it, Donald Defenders. Chris Jones is that dude. And my second choice at the defensive tackle position was a lot more difficult. I'm not gonna lie. This one, I feel like this is one of the weakest, choices on the entire team, like for sure. There was a couple that came to mind in terms of narrowing it down. I could have went with Morgan Fox of the LA Chargers. I feel like is very underrated, but I'm not sure how his game would translate to a bunch of different schemes and defenses. I think that Zach Allen is the right choice here because I feel like Zach Allen can play kind of all over the defensive line, and I do think he's another good pass rusher. And he's a guy that's growing. Fox has maybe hit his peak already. I think Allen's peak has yet to come with the Broncos. So I'm going to take Zach Allen as a part of the AFC West defensive line. Moving to the linebacker position. This is once again not exactly the strongest position for this division, but there was an obvious choice for me as the number one linebacker, Nick Bolton of the Kansas City Chiefs. He is without a doubt a top 20, top 15 linebacker in the game. I think maybe at times I underrate how good he is. He's really good against the run. He has great instincts. He's great downhill. And I think he was a huge part they won that Super Bowl. I thought he was absolutely phenomenal in that game against the Eagles' rushing attack. He has no fear whatsoever, and he has gotten better as a coverage player. To complement Bolton, I could have went with his teammate, but I decided to go in a different direction. I'm going to give love to Alex Singleton. I just think there's been no more improved player in the NFL since coming into the NFL as a CFL player than Alex Singleton. He was phenomenal last year. Sean Payton's already praised his work ethic and his shine from last season. I think he's one of the most underrated players in this division. So I'm going to give him the spot next to Bolton at linebacker in this division. Eric Kendricks fans are going to be a little bit upset, but it's my team. At the safety position, the first pick is Derwin James. And this is a division that has a couple really awesome safeties, like two of the top 4 safeties in the league, and then beyond that, some really good ones as well. Derwin James, I ranked as the best safety in the NFL because I think he could play on any defense. He could play free or strong safety. The guy could probably play linebacker or nickel, and he can play man on tight ends, man on slot receivers. He can blitz. He can play the run. He's a great player, a great football mind. He is my first pick at safety. My second pick at safety, which I think I would categorize more as the free safety, is going to be Justin Simmons of the Denver Broncos. One of my personal favorites for a very long time. I think he's just consistently been one of the 5 best safeties in the NFL. Last year, big time interception numbers. I think last year wasn't his best overall year, but I think he'll get back to really strong play under Vance Joseph. I think last year's defensive scheme maybe didn't fit him as well, but I feel like overall, this is a guy with great range, great ability to play the pass and the run. He's a very good tackler, and he can complement Derwin James extremely well. At the cornerback position, CB1 is going to be arguably the best corner in football. That's Pat Surtain of the Denver Broncos. He is an absolute stud. The best technician at the corner position in the NFL, and I believe I ranked him as my number 2 corner in football entering 2023. He will be the shutdown guy for Team AFC West. On the opposite side of Pat Surtain, this one was tricky, and I could have went with a few different names, including a few different names on the same team, the Los Angeles Chargers. And there's even a young player on the Chiefs that I think you can consider here, but I'm going with Michael Davis. I just feel like over a large scope and period of time, like the last 4 years-ish, Michael Davis has been super consistent. He's maybe not like a true number 1 shutdown corner, but when it comes to number 2 corners, he's like really consistent and consistently puts up good numbers, consistently just every time you watch him, he's in every play, making plays all over the ball. He seems to have a very good understanding of that scheme. And I love him on the opposite side as just a guy that can take care of business. He's not going to try to make too many plays. Like, I could have went with Asante Samuel Jr., but he'll definitely be a guy that maybe could be burnt more than Michael Davis. Michael Davis is more steady. So I'm going to go with him as my CB2. At the nickel position, this one was a lot more clear and obvious to me. I'm going with L'Jarius Sneed of the Kansas City Chiefs. Last year, L'Jarius Sneed was arguably the most productive slot corner in football. The guy can play in the nickel, but he can also play outside. I think he's been one of the most valuable players in the NFL that nobody talks about because of his versatility, because of what he's been asked to do over his short career. And I think he's good in man and zone. He's a really good tackler. He makes a ton of plays around the ball. He's going to be the nickel corner for this defense. And that is the Team AFC West defense. You're probably wondering, Mitch, why'd you change your outfit? What's going on? I accidentally deleted the file for the special teams and the coaching staff. So now that you know that, let's get to the special teams and the coaching staff. At the head coach position, I'm taking Andy Reid, obviously. He's arguably the best coach in all of football. He's got a great relationship with Patrick Mahomes, and he seemingly has success wherever he goes. Following Andy Reid, I'm going to take Kellen Moore from the LA Chargers as the offensive coordinator. I think this is a good mix. Kellen Moore brings a little bit of Dallas and a hint of his playing experience to Andy Reid's offense. He's already operated under offensive coaches in his past, and I think it would work. And I think maybe even Kellen Moore would be elevated by Andy Reid. The defensive coordinator, I'm taking Steve Spagnuolo. He's just proven to me that he is clutch. Game plan wise, big game wise, you can count on Steve Spagnuolo. I'm still shocked that this guy was out there for the Chiefs to hire because he has been that good. When you consider what the Chiefs defense was in 2018, then how they were able to play in 2019 and moving forward, it's been one of the greatest hires of the NFL over the past 5+ years. Moving to the special teams, this is a stacked unit in my opinion. You add Daniel Carlson at the kicker position, who is automatic. I mean, if there is a guy better than Justin Tucker, there's an argument for Daniel Carlson of the Las Vegas Raiders. At the punter position, I'm also taking AJ Cole, the Las Vegas Raider punter. Now, you could argue for Kansas City's punter. He's very good in limited punts. He doesn't really see the field very often for obvious reasons, but AJ Cole's been very consistent over the last couple of years. I want to reward him for that and make him the punter for Team AFC West. The returner is tricky, but I'm going to take Kadarius Toney. The Super Bowl punt return was a real deciding factor here, but if you've ever watched Kadarius Toney play as a punt returner or a player in general, you know that he's one of the most elusive, difficult guys to tackle. When he gets the opportunity to get the ball in his hands, he makes magic. So Kadarius Toney is going to be the returner for Team AFC West. That is your AFC West All-Star team. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this squad. Is it one of the better ones? Is it a little bit worse than you thought? Will Mahomes bring this team to victory? Gronk, spike the like button. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.